let's look at what the new version of Zoho Creator brings in. Prior to the new version of Zoho Creator, as mentioned earlier, we were able to build applications on Zoho Creator. But Zoho Creator as a platform, moving forward, will focus on enabling processes or streamlining processes to produce solutions. So to create a solution, there are like three different processes or categories that we can look at. So you'll have to develop the solution. And once the development of the solution is done, you deploy the solution. And once the deployment is done, you still want to manage the solutions effectively as well. And when it comes to the development part, again, not just applications, we're going to create different solutions. And with solutions, we are also going to bring in microservices as well. So what we'll do is we'll look into each of these categories or each of these sections and see what are the new features, the old features, which enable all of these to bring in the entire platform together. Here are the different tools and features which are available on the new version of Creator. Starting off with solutions. So solutions, we will be still able to create applications as well. It's still an application creating platform as well. Apart from applications, the application creator part is powered by Zoho Creator, the current version of Zoho Creator, and the business process creator as well. So as you know, in Zoho Creator, we recently added a very big feature called Zoho Creator's Blueprint. So the Zoho Creator Blueprint will power the business process creator part of it. So apart from apps and business processes, we'll look at integrations now. So far in the current version, integrations, anything related to integrations in Creator would always tie back to an application, right? So you either push information from an application or to an application. But in the new version, in the new Creator platform, we have a separate integration creator available. So you will be able to create standalone integration flows as well. And similarly, we have a BI and analytics creator as well. So apart from the default 8 types of reports that are currently available within Zoho Creator, you also have an advanced BI and analytics tool which has been added. So apart from creating analytics for your applications, you can create advanced analytics for other data sources as well. So and we'll be looking in detail into each of these options and what powers these options as well further on in the presentation. So another interesting feature that we're bringing in is a robotic process creator. So we all know about RPA. So RPA is a software or an application that can be easily programmed to do like basic and repetitive tasks across applications. And using RPA, you can also create and deploy bots, software robots, which will have the ability to like launch and operate other softwares as well. So we are bringing in a robotic process creator into the Zoho Creator platform as well. And the reason why it's highlighted is it will be available in the early part of next year. The first part of next year, the robotic process creator would be made available. Moving on to microservices from solutions. So we all know about connections, how they enable the authentication process of integrations that much more easier. We've enhanced connections. There are a lot more options available, and you have like a more organized way of managing connections. Similar to that, data sources. We have the option of adding or creating new data sources. And we've added many new services into data services. Apart from the existing ones that we already had, we've added tons and tons of new data source options as well. Coming into AI models. So we all know that in Zoho Creator, we have enabled ZIA. So right from when you're importing an application where AI-powered development can be made, apart from that, even within the forms, you have like AI fields. And one of the important AI fields that we had was the prediction field. So AI models would be powered by the prediction field. So the prediction model would be taken and considered as AI model here. And then we have serverless functions. So the functions that we are able to create, apart from the deluge functions, we have Java, Node.js, Python, and Python coming up. So those functions, serverless functions, will be categorized separately, and they'll be called as serverless functions. These are most of these options are currently available on the current version of Creator, but also they have enhanced options to execute them and also to manage them. So apart from these, we also are bringing in AR and VR options as well. So augmented reality, which is based on the real world settings, we have a few functionalities going over that. And similar to that, we are also working on a few VR virtual reality features as well. So similar to robotic process creator, AR and VR also would be available in the first early part of next year. Starting of next year, it would be available with robotic process creator. So that covers the development part where you have solutions in microservices and how do we deploy them, right? So you create an application, as Bishan mentioned, we are introducing a proper application development lifecycle management system. So you have multiple environments that you can take advantage of. A single application will can have 3 different environments, and you can have separate user management, separate data management for all of these environments, and have the production live for your end users as well. So that's a major addition that we've done for the existing app creator version, that is Zoho Creator's version. Apart from that, the mobile deployment and the portal deployment, we've organized it and maintained it and categorized it now so that it's easier for you to access these options. And similarly, coming into management. So management, again, we have enhanced the user management part. Again, introduction of these new solutions and services. We want to make sure that the developers are given enough options to manage them. So you have an enhanced user management system. The information about your organization can be maintained separately in a category. Then there's like many new features added into governance, including like the AD directory sync. Those are added under governance. Then you have tools available for operations. There are a few new additions that we've done from the app creator part as well, which we'll be covering in the later part. And also monitoring as well, account level management or the billing management that we want to do. We will be doing it under monitoring. Let's go into each of these categories and then look at the product or at how these categories have been enabled and how these categories can be used in the platform itself. Starting off with solutions. So solutions, as we know, as we spoke about, we have apps creator, BI and analytics, flow, business process, and robotic process creator as well. So the application creator, this is a service that we are all aware of and well used to. This is nothing but our Zoho Creator version itself, the current version of Zoho Creator. So that is the service which is going to enable the application delivery, application development part. With the application development part, as mentioned earlier, it will also power the business process creator as well with the blueprint feature that we've added. So apart from that, for the BI and analytics, Creator already has 8 different types of reports. But if you want to create like advanced analytics and BI, inside the Zoho ecosystem, we have a very advanced analytics tool which is available. And we've taken advantage of that and we've brought in Zoho Analytics into this unified platform. So the options that are available within Zoho Analytics would be made available here, and you can configure the advanced analytics for your applications or for other data sources as well. Similar to analytics, when we talk about integrations, apart from, again, the custom integrations that are available app level, we're also looking at standalone integration flows that you want to create. So that's when we converge into like a solutions unified platform, right? So for that, in the Zoho ecosystem, again, we have a very powerful integration flow creator tool called Zoho Flow. So we're bringing in Zoho Flow as well into the creator system. So creator system moving forward will have features of enhanced features of Zoho Creator, the current version of Zoho Creator. It'll also include Zoho Analytics features, and it'll also include Zoho Flow features as well. So we'll be looking at each of them in detail to understand how they're maintained within the application. So let's look at, let's start off with the service that we are well aware of, right? Zoho Creator. Zoho Creator will power the app creator part. And all the features that you have currently for building forms, reports, pages, the functions that we have, blueprint, all of them are included in the new version as well. Apart from that, we made a major enhancement to the application development process, which was mentioned earlier, which is the ADLM process, the application development lifecycle management. So we have 3 different environments available, which can be enabled for all the applications or any application that you choose. So you can give separate user access to these environments as well. So a developer can log into the development environment, do all the development. Once he's happy with the development, he pushes it over, moves it over to the testers. The testers will log into the stage environment, add data, execute workflows, see everything's working fine. Once they're happy with that, they move it to the production environment, which will be the live application used by the end users. Right. So without further ado, what we'll do, we'll transition from the PPT and we'll move right into the product, and we'll pick up rest of the features directly from the product. So how do we go to the new version of Creator? We still have our same URL. It's creator.zoho.com. Log into creator.zoho.com. We have a new loading animation, nice animation that's been added. And once you log in, you land into the admin dashboard of the new version of Zoho Creator, the Creator 6 version. And the Creator 6 version is a little more organized based on the different solutions and options that have been included in this version. So we'll be looking at them. And as you can see to the left, we have also categorized them according to the processes, so that it's easier for you to navigate as well. Under develop, you can see solutions and microservices. Under deploy, you can see environments, mobile, and portal. And under manage, you have users, organization, governance, operations, and billing. So we'll have a brief introduction about each of these sections and the options available in each of these sections as well. Let's start off with solutions. So solution screen, straight away, you can see that it's not just applications that you can see anymore. It's applications, flow, and analytics that you can see. And we've given you the option to filter them as well. So in case you just want to see all the applications that you've developed, you can go for that. Or if you want to see just the analytics part, and also if you want to just see the integration part alone. So we'll get started with creating a solution, and we'll see the different types of solutions that can be created, and also the enhanced features that are added into the application development part. So clicking on create a new solution, it'll give you 3 different options now. So you can either create an application, BI and analytics, or integration. So let's start with the applications. And once we click on application, even if the UI is refreshed, these options, we used these options, right? So you have create from scratch, create from gallery. You can choose one of the pre-made applications that we have from the gallery. Then you have import file, the AI-powered import options that are available, and create an application as well. So let's go ahead and create an application from scratch. So apart from the application name, just below the application name, if you can see, there is a new option available right now. So you can enable environments. So right when you're creating an application, you can enable these environments, and the application that you create will be available on all the 3 environments, so that you can take advantage of, publish it, have testing done, everything can be taken care of here. So now let's start off by creating a new app. I'll say partner event. We'll enable the environments, got it there, and create the application. So once we click on create an application, we land on a screen that we're very familiar with again, creating a new form, or the entire edit mode of Creator, right? So you create a new form, you have workflows, settings, all of those options are available there. So we'll go ahead and create a new form. And I'll just make use of one of our form templates. We'll just go registration and probably just add like a user registration part here. Great. So like any template, you have like a form created, a report created, and you'll have like a couple of workflows that are added to support the template that you've chosen. And you can add the workflows, all the options that are available in the current version, including the latest of Blueprint as mentioned, is available on the new version of Creator as well. Apart from that, we'll in this session, we'll look at the new options or the enhancements that we've done. Straight away, if you look at the right top corner, you can see that it doesn't say access anymore. It says access development live. So as mentioned earlier, we have 3 different live modes which will be available for you. So you'll have a development live, you have stage live, and you have production live as well. So let's start off with the application development live. So once you log in, again, you have the form and the reports that we've created. And you can also take note of the left top corner here. It will highlight that this particular live mode is of the development environment. So the developer, as you know, he builds an application, he wants to test it out, accesses live, adds data, executes workflow, everything's working fine. But there's another a process that the developers usually do, right? Because the applications that you develop will be developed for multiple users, not like a single user that you're developing. So you usually create multiple permission sets as well. But as a developer, you had to like create like demo accounts, add the demo account into the application, assign permission sets, move to that particular demo account, and had to like test out how that particular application looks for that particular user. We've tried to make sure that those options are made that much more easier for all the developers. So let's go back and see what those options are. So we'll move back to environments, and as you can see, we have the partner event registration available, and it says we have made some changes in that because we've added we have added a form and a report there. Right? So the options available for the inside environments is again categorized into development stage and production. Currently, we just have a development environment. So looking at it, there's an edit mode, which takes us back to the edit mode of development. Then you have access, which takes us to the live mode of development. Then you have a new option called settings. This is the development environment settings and not the application settings. So when we click on this, it'll bring us to a new screen where this is one of the most useful features for developers which have been added. Demo users. So you can add a demo user. You'll have 5 demo users available. So you can just choose a demo user, and all the permission sets that you create in the application would be available. So choose, I'll say read permission. I'll choose a role and click on add. So now when we go back to the application itself, I'll just refresh it once. When we go to the live mode, so this is the developer login. I've logged in as a super admin, but let's say I want to see how it would look for another user with read permissions, right? So I go here to the right top. We've added a new section here which says view as. Clicking on that would give you a drop down of all the demo users that you added, their permission sets as well. So this particular demo user has read permissions with the CEO profile. So just click on that, it automatically changes the live screen to accommodate that particular demo user. So for the read permissions, currently we've not added any records, so it's not showing up. And to the left, if you can see, the form access is removed as well. Because again, in the read access, you will not have form access. So that's a major feature that we've added for the developers to take advantage of, to swap between user accounts and test them accordingly. And the other unique part about this particular demo user is that we will be getting to that. So before that, what we'll do, let's say the development is done, we swap demo users, we saw everything's working fine. So let's go ahead and publish the application. So in the environment section to the right top, you'll have publish it to stage. All the applications with changes would be listed. You select the application that you want, and then it'll list out all the changes that you've made. And you can double click on each of them to see the actual changes, the actual scripting behind it. And you can choose components as well. So for the demo, we'll choose all the components. We'll click on proceed. And so once we click on proceed, it'll ask us for a version information. This is again very useful when you have multiple versions being pushed to the live version. So you can keep a track of what the changes are, and you can also categorize them by giving appropriate titles and descriptions as well. So let's say this is a new partner event stage, new form is added, and based on the amount of changes that they made and how you categorize it, you can say if it's a major change or a minor change. Major change would increment the version number by 1. Minor change would increment the version number by 0.1. So I'll say it's a major change, the first version of the app, and we publish. So the publish would be initiated, and so as you can see, the publish is in progress. We've just added a couple of components here, so it shouldn't take a long time. Perfect. So the stage environment is created, and when we click on the environment options now, you can also access the stage environments options. Very similar to development, you have a separate environment available for stage, the live environment. So you go into the live mode, and at the left top, if you can see, it's highlighted as stage. And another unique thing that you can see is to the right top, you still have the option of adding or viewing as another user. The reason is we still have given you separate options for the stage environment as well, right? So you can go into environments, stage, and you have separate settings option available. So you can add demo users here specifically as well, right? So I can add another couple of users. If there are different permission sets, add them, give it to your testers, let them add the data, execute workflows, and see everything's working fine. So that's demo users. We've seen demo users in the live mode and how it actually changes the view of it. So apart from demo users, the other options available in the environment settings, this would be available both for development and stage as well. The second option is notifications. And this is something that a lot of the developers would appreciate as well. So anytime you configure an email notification or an email workflow, it always we had to send the email to the specified email address, right? And usually when we're doing it for a customer, we usually had to like replace the places where we had email configuration done to send the email to the according people. Moving forward, we're making sure developers have enough options. So you can either disable the emails, you can send it to the login user, the developer or the tester who's logging in, or if you have like a common email testing account, you can send it to that. Or whatever email that you've specified in the application or the workflow, you can continue sending it to that as well. And similar to email notifications, both the SMS and push notification configurations are also available. And apart from the demo users notifications, we also have AI model options. This again, as we mentioned earlier, this is the prediction model that we have currently using the ZIA features. The ZIA fields that we have, AI fields we have. If you configure an AI model, if you want like a separate model training to be done for each of these environments, you can go ahead and configure them as well. Perfect. So let's say we're done with the development. We've tested it, all looks good. The last step would be just to push it to the production environment. We choose the version that we want. If you have multiple versions, it would be listed here. We just have one, so we choose that, and we push it to the production environment. Right, it'll ask us, and another key option that's been added here is it'll ask you if you want to publish it immediately or do you want to publish it later. So if you have like a live version which users are using currently, you would want to like publish it at a later stage when they're offline, when they're not using the application, because when you're publishing it, the application will be set to maintenance mode and will not be accessible at all till the publishing process is done. So it'll lock the application. So you can schedule it accordingly. So you can either publish it now, publish later, and also have notification emails sent to any user, admin, super admin, and all of that. So we'll publish the app, go back to environments, right? And the publishing processes begin. Version 1 is in queue, and it should be published in a matter of few seconds. We just have a few components here, so that's why the process is a little more faster. When you actually do it for a full-scale application, it might vary based on the number of components that you have. So for this particular application, the live mode has been created. So we can go and access the live mode. And in the user live mode, you would see there's no highlight of anything. So that would mean it is the actual live mode or the production environment of the application. So you do not have the option of swapping to demo users. That's a given there, right? So that's environments, and another feature that we can look at is the logs, the application logs for the executions that happen. You have like separate logs available for the environments. So most of the approach now moving forward, we've taken it from application level to like environment and application as well. So you can filter out and see all the logs that you want. And similarly, you have like a centralized place of looking at all the versions that you've built on this particular platform. So I had like a couple of default applications installed. Then I've created an application right now. So that shows up as well, the changes that we've done. And clicking on that will get us back to this version screen where you can look at the actual version, the actual changes that you've actually done. So that's version history, demo users, and the different environments available in the application creation process. So as you can see, the application creation has been streamlined a lot more. We made it very easy for your team to collaborate and build the applications and deliver it to the clients as well. So let's go back to solutions. So that we've covered the application creator part. So apart from application creation, as we told earlier, we have other solution creation options as well. So the second option that we have is BI and analytics. BI and analytics, as we told earlier, we have Zoho Analytics powering it. So clicking on it will give you two options right now. One, you can import it from an application. So if you create an application on the creator platform, and if you want to generate analytics, you choose import from application. By clicking on it, it will list out the applications that you have. You configure it, the setup process would go on, right? So once the setup is done, you configure it, choose the forms, fields that you want, and tables would be created accordingly. Apart from creating analytics for the applications that you develop, all the options that were available on the current analytics, Zoho Analytics site is also available as well. So you can import it from sources. So as you can see, this is more a unified platform for bringing in all these solutions together. So you have all the options, right? Starting from importing from a file, different cloud services, cloud databases, local databases, tons of options that analytics provides. Those are added here as well. So you have like a centralized place, centralized platform to be able to configure all of these. So for example, we'll just look at one minute. So we'll look at an analytics or BI that we've already created. And so if we are doing it from an application, all the forms would be added as different tables, and you have existing flows that you can add from CRM, books, and the other services as well that you can take advantage of. So going into that, it will give you all the options available on the current Zoho Analytics. So you can create reports, dashboard, take advantage of AI options in ZR, configure everything that's available right now. This is again a major addition when you're creating like a complete solution. Going into the BI and analytics part, creating like insightful reports and dashboards is very key as well. To enhance the existing ones that we have, we brought in Zoho Analytics so that the developers can take advantage of that. So that's BI and analytics, and we've done a few sessions around the integration options that are available with BI and Zoho Analytics and Creator. So without wasting time, we'll just share a few links of our previous sessions. So all of those options would be available on this new version of Zoho Creator as well. Similarly, the third type of solution that we are looking at is integration flows, right? So this again, as we told earlier, is none other than Zoho Flow itself, right? So you can either create a flow from scratch, or you can import from the gallery. Tons of flows that are already built by our product team would be available. So you can pick one of those as well. So when you pick a flow, again, the usual processes that you do in Zoho Flow, you authenticate it, create connections, authorize it, and you can use it for the integration flows that you want, right? And in addition to that, existing creator flows that you have are also available as well. So even applications that you develop, if you want to create like integration flows, you still have many options to do so within the integration creator or the integration flow creator as well. So that's the new solutions or the new options that are available with solutions. So you have apps and business process creator under an enhanced Zoho Creator version. Then you have BI and analytics available with Zoho Analytics options. And then you have integration flow creator with the Zoho Flow options as well. So moving on from solutions, let's look at microservices. Microservices is something that most of the options that we are already aware of. It's just how we organize them and configure them so that it's a little more streamlined and easier to access as well. And apart from that, we've added tons of new services into connections and data sources as well. So connection is just to authorize the integration process. So you click on connection, it'll ask you which service you want. So as you can see, there are many services available now. So you can choose, and you also have the Zoho OAuth available as well for the OAuth integration options that are available within the Zoho suite, and other Zoho products which can be directly used as well. So the processes are very similar to the current process. You choose one, you authenticate them and go forward. The additional options that we've added in connections are how we manage these connections, right? So you can authorize, reauthorize, test connection, and you can make sure these connections that you create are used by certain applications. So you can enable and disable certain connections for the different applications that you develop. And similar to connections, we have data sources. Data sources, as you know, is like a two-way integration that happens between the creator application and another service that you generate. Again, for the initiation of the data source would be a connection. So you create a connection and then you create a data source. And coming into data source, you again authenticate what applications take access, or what applications have access to these data sources. And the fields that are available, you can view those fields. So it's more a proper organized place where you can look at the different connections, different data sources that you have added in your account, and also manage them accordingly to the different applications that you want to use. Right. And the third one with microservices currently added is the custom AI model, right? Again, we've added a sample prediction field here. So this is a place where you can come, understand the prediction model or the prediction training that's been happening. So the base field, the department field, the criteria, in case we've added anything, accuracy, train data count, everything can be listed here. Everything will be listed here. And you can come here, look at how the AI model training has been going on. So more organized place under microservices. So microservices is, to summarize, is a place to create connections, manage connections, authorize, reauthorize, and allow permissions as well to certain applications. And similar to that, you have a place to create and manage data sources, and also a place to manage your custom AI models that you're creating for your applications. So we've developed solutions or microservices. We've taken advantage of environments when we are creating apps. And from there, after creating the application, you as you know, most the creator application or any application that you create on Creator will have a default mobile application available. So we have default application, Zoho Creator application available on both iOS and Android. You just log in, download the application, log in, and you'll have access to all the applications that you've created under your account. The mobile option that we see here is when you want to create a custom rebranded application, or if you want to download the SDK so that you can customize the UI and UX of your mobile applications. So under deploy, you come into mobile, click on create a new mobile application. You can choose your application, and there we go. We get the options to generate the mobile applications that you want. So applications, the mobile application, as you know, we have two different types of application. One is for internal users and one for the portal users as well. So you can choose accordingly and have the IPA APK files downloaded or the SDK generated so that you can go ahead and customize it. So we click on SDK, it takes us here. And in SDK, as we all know, we have a core framework, UI and core framework as well. So all these options would be available. The plist files and the properties file would be available here. You can download them. Notifications can be enabled. All of these can be done here. So coming to the mobile section here, you will get access, you will be able to see all the custom applications that you've developed. So it's like a one-stop place where you see all the mobile applications, custom applications that you've developed. In case you want to generate files, you can do everything right from here. So it's not required anymore that you go into each and every individual application and generate these or manage these. You have the mobile section available under deploy to do all of that. Similar to that, inside a creator application, you have the option of creating customer portals. Again, these were available within an application. So in case you wanted to create a portal or if you wanted to manage a portal, you had to log into that particular application to do so. But with the new version, we have a portal section available. So coming into the portal section, you'll have a list of all the portals that are created on this particular account. Right. So I've created one for IT asset tracker, vehicle management, and we also have the option of creating new portals as well. Right. So clicking on new portal, it'll ask you which application do you want to create it for. I'll say partner event. It'll ask me the domain, the URL, then what type of portal I want to create, notifications, the default permission set that I want to enable, changing email addresses, and the favicon option as well. So all of these can be directly configured from the portal option. So again, emphasizing that you needn't go into each and every applications to manage and maintain your portals. You have like a centralized location available under deploy, which is the portal section. You just log into the portal section, you have access to all of these. Right. So you've developed solutions, you deploy them, be it like web versions or like mobile or portals, everything's done. Now the main part, the key part would be to manage these. So we are, as told earlier, there are a couple of new services added into the creator platform. So that is also tricky, and we want to make sure that the developers are given enough options so that they can configure them and maintain them accordingly. So going into the user section. Right. So once you go into user section, all the users would be listed here. And when you try to add a new user, right? So again, this we are not doing it from an application level. You can do it from a centralized level, from the account level. So you come here, you add the user. A very nice feature that's available right now is you can add the user to access multiple applications and what role and permission that he or she needs, right? So everything can be configured right from here. And similarly, if you're adding a developer, so in development, we have a couple of different environments available. So we made it a little more granular here. So you can choose the application that you want and also give them either access to the development environment, which would be the live mode of the development environment, and editing the development environment, and then publishing it. So this you can give it to your senior developers, saying if you're collaborating within a team, multiple people work on it, but the final decision of publishing it to the stage environment can be taken by the senior developer, senior manager, whoever is there in authority. They'll be able to make those changes. So publish option for users is a very key feature that we've added as well. And similar to that, we've added separate options for stage environment as well. So you can enable access and publish options separately for the applications that you develop, applications and environments that you develop as well. And similarly, you have the option of adding a user to multiple applications and multiple environments as well. So a proper, streamlined and granular way to maintain user management for application development processes. So apart from application development, as we know, we've also added BI and analytics. So you can specify which workspace this user has access to, what type of access the user will have as well. And similar to BI and analytics, you also have integration flows as well. So you can either enable integration flows, access of these integration flows that you create, or disable the integration flows. So a clean, proper way of maintaining the entire user management for the entire platform can be done right from the user section as well. And similarly, apart from the super admin, in case you want to add admins, you can add administrators as well, right? So you just add an admin and they would have similar options available for a super admin. So from user section, we move on to organization. So organization is where you maintain your organization's information, right from your logo to favicon, the org name, email address, portal name. The portal name is nothing but the workspace name that you get in the URL. So that's maintained here. Then the phone number, address, and everything will be maintained under organization info. Moving on to governance. So governance again is a major addition that we've done to the governance of users, the account, and everything. So as you know, we have a directory service in the Zoho suite called Zoho Directory. So the governance section, we will be using Zoho Directory to enable all these options. So using Zoho Directory, again, we've done an extensive session on how Zoho Directory can be used with the Creator applications. So we'll share that link in the chat. So all those options that we have seen prior and we will be seeing in the future as well with Zoho Directory will be made available here. So right from configuring security policies like password policies, MFAs can be configured. And similarly, custom authentication, if you have like your own IDPs, you want to configure SSO with SAML, you can configure it here. Or if you want to do like an Active Directory integration, you can do it right from here as well. So anything that you want to configure, you click on it, it'll automatically take you to the Zoho Directory screen, and all the configurations and settings that you need can be configured here. So this is again another major addition, looking at the enterprise environment that we will be focusing on. This would come very, very helpful in many of the user management systems, or bringing in the solutions that you create into an existing environment in an enterprise as well. So that's governance. That's governance, which is powered by our Zoho Directory tool. Apart from governance, operations. So operations, we've categorized them based on the different solutions that are available. So application operations are the different management tools or the operation tools that we had within Zoho Creator. We've done a few announcements in that. We'll get to that in a minute. Then you have BI and analytics, the different management tools that are available, and similar to that, we have different sets of tools available for integration flows as well. So the analytics and integration flows are very similar to what are available under Zoho Analytics and Zoho Flow right now. So we look at Zoho Creator, the application part, so application creator part, and what are the new options that we've added. Going into backup, right? The most frequently requested one with the application backup part. Now you have a frequency which would say daily. So you can go ahead and back up your applications on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, and on a monthly basis as well. So that's a new addition that we've added. Then apart from that, the audit trail, again, not application specific. You come here, it's account specific. All the applications that you've done, you can manage the audit trail here. Similar to that, email management, domain restrictions. Another option that we've added is API management. So in case you want to enable, as you know, with Creator, we have open REST APIs available. So you can configure APIs anytime you want for your applications. But in case you want to like enable or disable the API options, you can come here and grant access to API or deny access as well. So apart from that, you have logs, the publish option, making a public the form or report or any component that you create in an application publicly available, you publish it. email data, and we also have brought in the marketplace as well. So as we know, this is the Zoho's marketplace where we get to see the custom application, extensions, everything listed out here. So as partners and developers, we can also like create solutions and extension and post it in the marketplace, and those would be listed under the operations screen under marketplace. And in case we have any issues, the support access can be, when we are contacting support, the support access can be enabled from here itself. The last section that we have under manage is billing. Billing is more a unified dashboard that we've created with the usage information and the plan information as well. So right from the number of users, applications, analytics, and integration flows that we've created will be available on the under the current plan details. And we're going a little more in depth into the application usage part, and you get a number of apps, records, storage, the cloud functions, authentications, emails, API calls that we've done. Everything should be available here, right? So that's the billing section, and we have covered, and we've given you a brief introduction of all the features that are available within the newer version and how the newer version will be useful for developers and partners moving forward. And in that case, for any user who's trying to create a solution on Creator. Right. That's Zoho Creator 6, the new version of Zoho Creator, just an introduction or a demo of all the features that are available. So with that, what we'll do is we'll quickly run through the slides just to summarize on all the features that we've got. So this is the environment cycle, the environment page, different environments that are available. You have development, staging, and production. For applications, you have a space where we maintain different environments. You can publish from one environment to another, make it a little more easier for different sets of users to collaborate for the application development process, and also look at the different versions that you've created for each of these applications. And another addition that we've added is the demo users part. So you can have separate permission sets for separate demo users for separate environments as well. From there, we spoke about business process creator. Again, this is the Zoho Creator's blueprint feature. We've just touched based on that. We've not gone in depth. We'll also we've done a few sessions, and there are a few sessions available. We'll also probably share those links as well. You create business processes automatically, visually, I'm sorry. And then we come into integration creator, the Zoho flow options that are available. So you come in, you create your own custom integration flow. It can be based on the application that you build, or it can be independent and create your own integration flow as a solution as well. Then comes analytics. Analytics, as we saw, again, we have our options to create BI and analytics for the applications that you develop on the platform, or it can be from other sources as well. So you can create beautiful dashboards, reports, everything would be made available on the platform there. From there, we saw microservices, connections, and data sources, how we are managing them, the new services that we've added, how the developers can take advantage of, and how all of these management come into the deployment part, the solutions part under microservices. Similar to that, the data sources part as well. From there, we looked at the different environments available for the mobile, the application development process. And then we looked at mobile application, how we're maintaining mobile application, organizing the mobile application part, generating mobile, rebranded mobile applications. Then comes the portal management, again, a centralized portal management screen, centralized portal management segment available. Come here, manage all the portals that you've developed or created for your applications. And from there, we jump into management. With management, we saw users, organization, governance, and operations. With users, how we have enhanced options of enabling users or enabling certain permission sets for the users that you want. They can either be application users, analytics users, or integration users. Or inside the application user itself, you have like options available to enable that particular permission set for a user to use certain environments, to test it, publish it. All of those options are available under users. Then you have organization, the organization management, information about your org, logos, all those can be added here. Then the governance part that we touch based on, the Zoho directory options that are available, very key feature that we've added for the user management part and the governance of the accounts. Then the operations, the different operations options that are available for applications, BI and analytics and flow, backup option that was new, API options that was new, and marketplace, which is available here where we can see the solutions. From there, the last part that we saw was billing, a dashboard of the usage across services and also the application usage a little more granular as well. So with that, we come to the end of today's demo.